Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? Okay, today is our art journal, and I already gessoed mine and put the tape in the middle. I'm going to show you this, and I got my scrap paper. I want to show you this is the journal that I made and that I'm using until I have all my paper used up, because I made a small one. I should have made a bigger one. Whatever you guys choose to use, whether it's a piece of composition paper, you can fold it. You could fold it if you weren't goofy like me. You can fold it in half and use it. A piece of printer paper, a book, whatever you have. So we're on our third. And so in my last video where we did washi tape, I asked whether you guys wanted the little butterfly girl creature thingamajig or you wanted the other one, and everybody wanted the butterfly, so we are going to do the butterfly. So, I'm going to start. I don't know what I did with my pencil, but we're going to start over here, and I'm going to come in a little bit as we do one side to the other, if that makes sense. I'm going to put a tree in over here, and I'm just going to sketch real lightly down. Make it have its little thing. I love trees. I'm a tree freak. I did gesso already, so y'all didn't have to sit and watch. And if you sketch, this is just a regular pencil, obviously, that needs probably sharpened. I'm going to sharpen it real quick. Oh my God, today I have to clean in here or everything might explode. Bear with me, please, because you would think a smart person would sharpen their pencil before they start, not me. Why would I? Okay. So I'm just going to, kind of sketch out like my branch, my, what's that called? A tree trunk, and, kind of start adding some cool branches, and I'm not going to make them double yet. I'm just going to kind of add them on. Make little Ys. I'm not going for perfection here, and then we can do the big. I like dead trees because I'm really weird. I prefer me a dead tree, and it would be probably skinnier on top. I'm trying to, I don't want to make this a 6-hour video while I sketch my trees, because I do like to sketch me some trees. Now, I will go back and double up, and we'll be painting these, but, you make your tree whatever way you want to. I like to do like this and then add extra little boopies on, extra little branches, and, no trees are perfect. And that's what I love about them. So you can just kind of do your own little thing and add some branches. And then, of course, it's going to have, we're going to paint this in and give it a little bit of texture. And it has its little, little thing there. And we can do grass or whatever. And this long one can have like another branch, like in my yard, that's ready to fall on somebody's head. Probably mine when I go out there. And I'm just going to kind of sketch over here a little bit. And we're kind of done there. Now, I already gessoed, and I put my tape in the middle. And I did it backwards. I did it just like that. I gessoed my pages because I wanted it dry before I started. And then I'm like, I didn't tape the middle, because I like to tape the middle to make it a little bit stronger and stay together. And then I kind of took my brush out of my wooder with my wet gesso and kind of went over it a little bit. So we don't know what kind of color that's going to pick up. And I'm honestly not really caring, because it's my art journal, and, that's just the way life is. So playing around with my tree a little bit, and when I get to paint with it, I'm not worried about that right now. I want this to have like go a little pointier. Trees are just, I could sit and stare at trees forever. We could take pictures of dead trees. We do all kinds of things like that. So, okay, so I'm gonna quit fussing with that and making everybody crazy. So then let's go over here, because I wanted to put something over here and kind of do. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the butterfly girl first, but then I'm going to go over and paint. And the paint I'm using is, again, the Reeves acrylic that come in the packaging. And I'll show you the colors. I'll tell you the colors that I have in my case once we draw this out. So I'm going to make her a little bit bigger than I did in my other one. And how I started out was I did a heart. And then she's kind of like a creature. So let's just draw a heart. And the heart does not have to be perfect. And then inside the heart, we're going to draw, and I would probably start, depending on how you want to do it, you know, you want to start kind of, because you want the heart to outline her face. Now, don't worry about your circle not being perfect, because it really doesn't matter, because really she's a, you know, she's a character. We're drawing our own character. And then I might go back once I have the rest of her drawn, go back and then maybe make the heart a little bit smaller, do a little bit of whatever. We'll see. But for now, I'm just going to kind of, and I sketch lightly using my number 2 pencil. It comes up better on gesso than if I use my mechanical, which is what I really prefer to use. Then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to just do like a pea pod, like a pod. Now, after you do this, you see mine looks kind of like wonky, and I'm not wanting it wonkier. And this is, you know, this is where your choice, what you like, comes in. I like mine a little fatter, a little wider and shorter, if that makes sense. Wider and shorter. And again, we can play with that after. We're just trying to get our basic down. And then I want her to have creature feet. So I'm just going to do like these weird feet. And you can do whatever kind of feet you want. I'm going to give her like talon toenails. And of course, they'll be better once I trace them with black or paint. And you want them to be pointy at the end, but my pencil isn't pointy, so it's making it hard to make it pointy, but you understand. Then comes the wings. So the wings are going to start, and the wings are very easy. Now, you can see I'm not going to have enough room over here for my whole wing. So when you do it, you can be a little bit better than me and make sure that you center it a little bit better. But I'm going to start my wing, and I'm not going to be worried about it because it's just my art journal. And I'm just going to go up and do that. My pencils, my pencil will only sharpen on one side. It's very bizarre. I'm going to give it a point, and I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to go down again, give it a point, and then come up. And it's that simple. And then over here, obviously, I cannot go all the way, but even though that's not what they say about me. Okay, anyway. And we'll just do like a little like line right here, and I'll show this up closer when I'm done, as if we are doing the same thing. So her wing goes off the page, no big deal. Now let me just show you where we're at. This is our tree. See our tree? And then this is our girl so far. So her one wing's good. You know, and you can even bring it onto the other page. Like I said, I should have started her head over here and done it better, but it doesn't really matter. You go with what you do. You know what I mean? You go with the flow. And then over here, I just, like her wings going off the page. And then here's our drawing. And then do whatever kind of feet you want. You want cute little feet. You want weird little feet. You can do like feet like, erase. Okay. You can do like weird, like pointy feet. Oh my god, this fucking pencil. Like, I like those feet better. And I'll just do like here. And then I'll go add the toenails after. you know, I'll paint them. Probably just with marker, color them in. Okay. And then I gotta do it facing me because I can barely walk. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna draw the face in yet because we're gonna paint it. So let's do this first. What I put in here, I don't even know where I got this thing. I think it's one of those like things you buy and you make like little cupcakes in the microwave or something. I don't even know. But what I have in here is I have red, I have flesh tone, and it's all from those Reeves. I have orange and yellow, green, and a purple. Then, because I only have 6 things on there, and pink doesn't come in the Reeves, which is not the biggest deal because I can mix red and white. I just didn't feel like, I didn't have like any more like things to mix it in right now close to me. But I just have like Martha Stewart, pink satin. Now let me tell you something very quickly. When you go to Michael's and you go into the Martha Stewart section, she always has paint on clearance. I mean, I think I bought a ton of Martha Stewart paint, which I swore I would never ever do. But when it's on clearance for like 62 cents or whatever, I pick up, I don't even care the colors. I pick them up. So that is that. And I decided I'm going to do the background a blue, like bluish colors. So I picked brown for the tree, which we'll do in a momento. But right now I'm going to do the background of the whole background. And I have 2 blues here, Blue Lake and Viridian Hue, which is more of a greenish blue. So let's see. We're going to start with the Blue Lake. And I'm just going to dot on. I'm going to try not to go over my drawing as much. You know what I mean? I want her to kind of look like she's flying or him or whatever. But if you get it on there or need to go over the whole thing, by all means do. I have done it. You want your brush to be a little bit wet, not soaked. And you just kind of want to go in. And this is acrylic paint. And I did gesso. So just kind of go in and paint the background. Now, would it have made more sense for me to paint the background and then draw her? Maybe. Depends on what you dig. I like drawing to see because I am, and again, keep your brush moist. This is one time you want things to be moist. Other times, some things you don't want moist. You do, you don't, who knows? And you just kind of go around your tree where you drew your drawing, because your sketch, because with your brush, as you can see, we're just filling in. And I'm going to touch it with a paper towel to give it texture, the sky. So it's not imperative that you do it perfect. Now, if you are one of them people and you want it to be a beautiful blue sky and you're doing this as a painting, which I'm going to do one of these as a painting actually. You know, I would do it a bit differently since we're doing it in our art journal and we're just having fun and playing and just damping the brush a little bit more. You know, I don't worry about it. Go over that tape. And you can always go back at the end, remember, and touch up if you have an area that you need touched up with a color. And that's why it's great to have the papers in between, because as you can see, I'm a messy painter when I'm in my journal. I just love having fun, and it's still going to turn out nice. And when you feel your brush getting dry, go in between them toes. Just dip it a bit in a little bit of water. Go around the wing. That's her wing. We're going to put a little blue there. Go back up here. Scribble in. Now, again, I'm using acrylic paints this week. You can use watercolor pencils, colored pencils. You can use crayons. You can use whatever you have. You can sit in bed and do this so easily with crayons or whatever. It doesn't matter. Remember, we're doing our art journal. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. And if you are not feeling well, but you want to do a little bit of art, this is a great way to do it. If you want to just sit and draw your picture out, then that's what you do. All right, so I have my sky kind of going on there. And I'm going to give, I hardly have any water left in here, and that's why I'm using it, because I just want like a little bit of water. Don't want to soak and wet it, whatever it's called. Take my paper, toweling, set it down, give it a squeeze, mushy. And I love the, it's like, it almost looks like when you do this, like you're putting salt on. You know how sometimes, which I'll have to do a demo on it. I'm sure you guys know what that's like when you do your watercolor paint or paint, even acrylic if you water it. Now, because this isn't dry yet, you can kind of go back in because I want that to have a little bit of texture up there. But see, now I took a little bit too much off. So I'm going to just kind of go through, and where there's a little bit more paint, then maybe I can just go over it. And I'm not worried. Like I said, I can go in with markers and highlight. Because I want it to look like there's like some stars and, you know, and there you go. And now I filled that back in and no harm done. But I like it to look like there's like some, you know, like it's a sky. Like, yeah. Okay. If you find it heavy anywhere, remember acrylic paint is great. Acrylic paint is great because you, oh my God, my back hurts. Because before it dries, you can then, you know, remove it. So now let's paint, let's do the heart. Let's concentrate on this before we do anything else. Let's concentrate on the heart. I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to take it's a little too small. It'll take me forever to use that. I'm going to take a smaller brush. That is it. Smaller brush. Dip it in me red. And I'm going to go around and follow my heart. And look how vibrant these paints are. These are really great. Not going to worry that the blue, you know, that I'm going over the blue and making a little bit of purple. I'm not concerned about that. Now, if you're using a palette, and I'm going to trace over this with marker so it'll be much more, look much more like fine. Do you know what I mean? Like without it being out of the lines, because I'm a horrible in the lines kind of girl. And when you draw something on your own, in the lines doesn't really matter when you're painting. You just have fun. All right, so that's what I'm keeping red so far. Now, I'm going to take, so I hate to smear on that. I hate to smear. I don't want to waste this. I'm just going to kind of take it on the rim of where my paint is. Because I'll be using it for lipstick and then I'll use it on another page. But I'm going to rinse my brush off. And dry it. And then in here, I'm going to do a line, and then like a V. You can do whatever your heart desires in the middle. So I'm going to use some orange, and I'm going to do orange on the outsides. Again, markers, crayons, colored pencils, watercolor pencils, watercolor crayons, whatever you have, you do the same thing. watercolor paints. It does not matter. It's all fun. And it's your art journal. Remember, we're not making art here to sell and all that. It's to have fun. And each week we're doing a little bit more of a kind of a thing where you're getting to do, you're going to draw your own. It's hard for me because I'm on a limited time when I do this with you guys. So I can't sit and do it like for 3 hours or whatever. I don't know how long it would take me, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. Like, I want to sit and like make sure everything's in the lines and everything's what I want it to be and all that kind of stuff. But it's hard to do that. And then I'll do the middle yellow. But for you guys at home, you can do it with me, or you can watch it and pause it and do it and, do a little bit better than me. A lot better than me, actually. We'll do some yellow there. Now remember, you could do whatever colors that you want. And if your orange blends into your yellow and all that blends, go with it. It's just like a little transitional thing. So it doesn't matter. You're not hurting nobody. Ain't nobody gonna be mad at you. Alright, and then we need, now I might take some of the yellow and a little bit of the orange and kind of mix it in here. I could have done purple. Again, whatever colors you like. And then what I'm going to do is give it a squirt. Come on, you got a little bit in there. And then carefully just take my finger on my paper towel and just in that middle and just give it that texture. And I'll hold it up so you can see because I know it's hard to see. And it's running into the yellow a little bit because everything's still a little bit wet. It's okay. Just take your towel, blend. It doesn't matter. And so here we are so far. Okay. So now in her face. Her face can be made a million different ways. You can just do dots for eyes and nose and a mouth. You can do eyes. You can do whatever kind of face you want. You can leave her blank if you want. It does not matter. It's really up to you. All I'm going to do is do a very quick straight line. And I'm just going to do her. I'm going to do the easy eyes for you guys on here to do. Which is we're just going to do that line going across. Let me show you. The line going across and the eyes on top. Okay, and I see this one isn't as long, that one isn't as wide, so we'll do make this one longer. All right, and then this is just going to be the bottom of her eye. We're going to do it very easy, simple for you guys. And then if you guys want to do regular eyes like I did in my other one, which I'll show you. I did her eyes like that. If you want to do the round eyes like that, then do it. Do whatever kind of eyes that you want. Because it's yours and you want it to be, you want to be happy and you want to feel comfortable. And I know a lot of people like this eye, but they find it easier to work with just because you don't have to worry, about doing the underneath. If you want to do the underneath, then all you would do is start at this corner and then you would just take it underneath and make her eye, round. But we're going to keep it like this. I'm okay with that. I don't care. I just like drawing and painting. So then I'm just going to do her, we're just going to do her a little nose like this. Just a little, you know, boop. And then we're going to do her some lips. Now, you can do lips a million ways. We've done them. I'm just going to put a straight line. I'm going to go up. And just do her lips like that. If you go back a few videos, if you're just finding me now, if you go back a few videos, you'll find how to do different ways to do your lips and everything else. Again, I'm trying not to be like obsessively perfect on this because it's my journal page, but that lump was that I made that a little smaller than the other. And you just took a, like, you know, I don't know. I'm babbling to myself. Anyway, all right. So let's go to our eyes and make our eyeballs because she has to have some eyeballs. Now, here's a fun thing. Let me just give you a fun little tip. If you want her to have her eyes closed like she's sleeping, there you go. She's done. How fancy schmancy is that? So she could be sleeping in the air, just kind of floating. We don't know, do we? But she might be. I, however, I'm going to give her eyeballs. So I'm going to give her a little bit of an eyelid. And all I'm going to do is lift over like that. And I'll bring it up close in a second. And then I'm just going to put her little eyeballs in. Because who don't like some eyeballs? And then I'm going to show you. There we go. That's not a little mole. That's a little piece of dust. Now I got to go in and erase kind of like where, because you know I sketchy sketch. I don't just kind of draw. I kind of sketch so I get. But y'all see what I'm talking about. And then what I'm going to do, which I'm not normally a person who does this. Now I want to tell you about two things very quickly. One is clear gesso. If you draw, let's say you draw all this out before we painted it, okay? You can then take your clear gesso and shake it up really good. Put a real thin coat of your clear gesso on your drawing before you've put any paint or anything. And leave it dry. And then you can paint over all your graphite and everything. It won't smear. Or I love to use, more so when I paint paintings and whatnot to sell, I like to use Fixative by Krylon. It's called Workable Fixative. It's by Krylon. It's a spray. And you want to do it outside, especially if you have problems breathing and whatnot. And you just give a quick spray, and it'll fix everything down that you already have. Your pencil, your graphite, everything, even this paint. So then you can put another layer on top without messing anything up underneath. That's number one. I'm not really giving two craps about that today. I'm going in my face color. Okay. And I'm just going to go and paint my face color. This is a dark color. And I can still see underneath. And of course, the paint's going to go on darker and dry lighter. Always remember that. So don't freak out on any color that you put on. Now you can paint her completely white. You can leave her face white. You can do whatever you want. You could paint, you know what would be cute, which I wish I would have thought of before. You could do her face like a pink or like a light purple or something, like, you know what I mean? Because she's butterflyish. You know? Like really weird, like really creative. But that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. And I just threw it right over top of my graphite. I'm going to wipe off some of that got on the red. I'll just have to touch that up later. And there we go. And we just let that dry before we go in with our paint. Okay, now let's start on with our wings. Now on my wings, I'm going to kind of go in and leave, like I'm going to follow the pattern. So that's where like the outside pattern's going to go, if that makes sense. And you'll see it makes sense when I start the next thing. That's where I'm going to put my stripes, my green and purple stripes. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my pink. Oh my goodness, I didn't even open this yet. How funny. Well, guess what's getting open today, people? Okay. All right, well now it's stuck to my... Get down there. Get down there. Go down there. Okay, stay there. Okay. So we're going to just paint in here. And you paint whatever colors you want. You know, I always tell you that. This is just what I'm doing. You probably should use a smaller brush than I am. But this is the Martha Stewart paint. Like I said, when you go into Michael's and you go into that paint section, you know, the craft paints, they always have Martha Stewart on clearance. And other brands too, not just her. But always look and don't think too much about the colors that you're getting, because you can just use those as backgrounds in your mixed media. And you'd be surprised. You'll use them more than you think. Like you might look at a funky color green and be like, when the heck am I going to use that? Guess what? You'd be surprised. One day you might be sitting there and saying, boy, I could really use a funky color green. Then you're like, oh man, I remember. I should have bought that one for 49 cents from Martha Stewart. And then you have to use a regular green, no funky color. I've done that many times where I've passed things up thinking, I look at my cart and all the stuff in it and I'm like, oh, and you think to yourself, 69 cents, 59 cents, 79 cents, whatever it is. You think like, oh, that's going to put me over after you see what's in your cart. You know. But I do that all the time. And I'm also a horrible shopper that I walk through the store and everything I possibly want, I throw in the cart. And then at the end, I go through my cart again. I drive my husband nuts. Well, all right, I really don't need... Not that I would buy all of it. But then I start feeling bad. Like, do I really need this? And then I go through and say, well, I really don't need this. And I really don't need that. And I already have this. So I can wait till next trip to have an extra one. And I'm horrible. I am a junkie for art and craft supplies. I will admit it. Okay. Now, you know what? I'm going to take this pink also. And I'm just going to give her like pinky cheeks. Now, I might have to go over with a darker color because, yeah, that's going to be too much. Maybe I should go over. I wonder if I just go over this with a little bit of this pink. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Because it gives it like a different hue. Yeah. All right. I get so excited over goofy things. Okay. That's why nothing ever starts out the way that I have it in my head. Okay. I'm done yan and oohing and on. Now I need a small brush. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to mark it, but what the heck is that all over me? I'm going to start with my green. And up here in the corner, remember, I'm going to trace the wings. So I'm going to do a green here, and then like purple will be next. So I'm just going to pretend like that's there. And then I'll do another green here. And then I'm going to just keep going like this. Now you can do a marker with this. You can do, you know, whatever. You don't have to use paint. Even if you use paint for everything else, it does not matter. The point is to have fun and make it your own. Do whatever colors you want to do. What the heck was that? My paintbrush is falling apart. That's because I leave them in water all the time, and you should not do that. It's one of my worst things, like worst habits. Is leaving my paintbrush. I ruin more paintbrushes. I mean, I use these babies till, I don't know if you could see this one. It is pretty bad. But I use them till, and even more of that stuff's coming off, till I can't, I mean, till they're like begging me to let them go. Okay, we'll leave that one dry, and we'll go to the other side. And again, any colors that you want, any material that you want to use. Now, I would probably, which I'm not going to do because we're on video and it's going to take too long, and I would go over the green again once it dried, just to make it more, you know, a little bit deeper. But because, you know, because we's here and we ain't doing that. There goes that poor brush into that water again. Now, while that is drying for a minute before I add the purple, what I'm going to do is go over to my tray. Here's my tray. I'm going to take my brown. This is called Burnt Umber. And you know what? I think what I might do is take, let's see if I can find it first. Organization is not my best suit. Okay, let's do it. Damn it. That's some big boobs hitting things on the desk, knocking it over. I'm going to take Honey Brown. Honey Brown. Who doesn't like some Honey Brown from Americana? And what I'm going to do first is, and this isn't open either, I'm ashamed. Oh, that's why, because I always take the lids off to paint. I'm like, I feel so ashamed today. I'm going to take some Honey Brown, and I'm going to paint this whole tree Honey Brown. And I'm going to tell you why, and show you why in a minute. Now, I'm sure I just, yep, I got brown on the other side because I am in a hurry and kind of flipped it, but all right. I shall survive. I shall survive. And I'm just going to kind of put this on my tree. Not worrying too much. You guys would be doing a much better job than I because, like I said, I'm kind of in, not in a hurry because of you guys, but I don't want you guys stuck all day sitting here listening to this wacko voice talk to herself. But I'm going to do a lighter color first on my tree. And we're painting and we're painting and we're painting and we're doing it. And we're doing it. And then I'm going to go in here. And then if you were, you know, you have your smaller branches, you can use your smaller paintbrush. But because, again, I don't want to keep you guys here forever, I'm just showing you kind of how to do it. Well, not do it, but you know what I'm saying, how to paint. Somebody is a little saucy today. Okay. Anyway, that was called Honey Brown by Americana. You can use any kind of light brown as you see. It doesn't have to be that brand. Now, what I'm going to do is wipe my brush off. I'm not going to wet it or anything like that. I'm just going to wipe it on this crappy page right here. And while that is going to dry for a minute, I'm going to take my brush and go in for my purples. Oh, wrong brush. Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Oh my God, I swear. Brains? Nope. No brains here. And I'm going to take my purple. And then I'm going to paint in. And remember, we're going to outline these, so don't worry. You can outline them in paint or marker or whatever. India ink, if you have like those fancy calligraphy pens. Watercolor pencils, whatever you want. Somebody texted me. I will check later. I wish they made these like smaller brushes in like fat handles for people like us who have hand problems, because it would make my life so much easier, because it's so hard to hold these so small, you know, like the handles are so thin, and I could really use a nice fat handle. I gotta start inventing things and doing things. I have so many ideas in my head. They really don't make much for handicapped people at all who have hand issues. We're kind of screwed if we want to do anything. I mean, I can always put like which I just thought of when I was sitting here, like tons of duct tape or something around it to make it thicker, but I want it to be comfortable. Or buy foam or something, I don't know. Get my husband to do something. He's real smart at that kind of stuff. But I know, like, the bigger the brush you get, the thicker the handle is, obviously. Oh my God, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I have dirty thoughts going through my head to say. But, you know what I mean? Like, you would think that in today's day, you know, world, like a lot of us crafters and artists and whatnot are handicapped. Not everybody, but, you know, have hand issues or whatever. And I think even people who don't have hand issues would maybe even like a bigger, you know, handle to hold on to. I mean, look at this. You know how much pain I'm going to be in later? Yeah, that's right. But I do it for all of you because I love you. No, I use this. You could see I use the hell out of these. And I do it. I mean, you know, you do what you do because you love it. But I just wish that there would be more, you know, like caring about people like us. A lot of places and things aren't. And I love, this is totally not really relevant to art, but when I shop, like for clothes for me, it's why I have my same comfortable clothes. I always paint my same pajamas and clothes, but because I hardly am ever out of them. They're clean, but like when I go like to the stores and I'm looking, obviously I'm not a size 6, so I have to look at plus sizes. And which I don't care if they would quit selling plus sizes with all these big flowers on them and like a silky material, and anything that's buttoned down. I can't button down. What are they on Smack? You know, it takes you 20 minutes to unbutton it to try it on. And then I can't even talk about it. I'm really going to get upset. Now, what color are we going to do her feet? That I don't know. Okay, well let's do our tree now. But I don't know if you guys feel the same way as me, but I mean, I know a lot of you write me and stuff, and you know, when I say things, you guys are like, "Oh my God, you read my mind." But like, you know, sometimes I want like some cool looking clothes. I'm just dragging a little bit of the brown on the bottom, just a littlest bit, and I'm gonna draw my brush off the best I can, and we're gonna dry brush it up, like just very giving it like grain. And push lightly. Now I'm pushing a little bit harder, and I'll show you how you can fix that. So I'll do it a little bit thicker, and then just take it, and the less paint on there, you're going to get a better grain look to it. Of course, you will take much more time than me, and just pull more paint if you need it from the thicker parts that went on there. And then just take your rag. You don't have to wet it. It should be a little damp from all this wiping. And then just wipe. Wipe. Scrub. Pretend like you scrub your toilet clean. I don't. I'm just pretending like I don't know what I'm doing. Now, we got a nice looking tree here. Now what I would do is, what did I do with it? Oh, okay. I would take a little bit more of this, which I'm going to do so I can show you. I would take a drier brush, a brush that I've not wet yet, like this, that's completely dry, stiff, stiff and dry. God, what kind of show am I doing today? What kind of video is this? And then I would just take it and run it up, because on those dark, see what I'm saying? Very dry brush, and it'll give it more dimension. You'll still have that darkness in it, but it'll give it more of a tree bark kind of look. If that makes sense to you. And you might want to go over it another time real quick with a little bit of the darker again. It doesn't matter. You play around with it till you love it. That's what it's about. You can even put like a little, you know, like dark brown here, like a hole, like something living in there. You know, and you just kind of play till you're happy with it. If you want to add a little bit of water to it to maybe take some of the darker off, you can. You see how it just wipes that off? And it gives you a really cool look. I'll hold it up because I know it's hard to see. But it does, it gives it a nice... Let's see how well you can see that. But you get a nice tree texture. So, there you go. Okay, now let's do her feet. What color do I want to do her feet? Maybe I'll do them this Verdian hue. I don't exactly know what color that is, but we shall see. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my mat. Oh, it's like a turquoisey thing. Turquoisey green. Oh, hello there. That's my brush. And let's get some of that bad boy on there. Oh, yeah. I didn't dry my brush enough, but you would definitely do 2 coats of this unless your brush was dry. My brush was, I quickly dried it. Not fully dried it, but I'm loving it. Oh, I love this color. It might end up being one of my new favorite colors. Okay. Happy. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in and draw her eyes and all with a black marker or a jelly pen. I love, where is my jelly pen? I love jelly rolls from Sakura, and they are at Michael's, and you can get them for like $1.09 or $1.29 or something like that. I have black and white ones. I love them. I want to buy every color available, but for now, this is what I have. Now, I'm going to zoom in a minute. And I'm going to do her face. Now, as you can see underneath her face, and I'll lift it up. Wait, let me wipe that off because I'll end up wearing that. See how pretty that vermilion color is? Very nice. Okay. Now, as you can see her eyes and stuff underneath enough to copy. So I have that, which I'm very happy about. So I'm going to go in with my jelly. Now, if you don't have a jelly roll, use a black marker. Use a Sharpie. Use a use your paint. Use your watercolor pencil. Use your colored pencil. Use a very, very thin. You can use anything. Anything. Okay, so remember that. This is just what I'm using. It's not what you have to use. And I'm going to just copy what I have on here to the best of my ability. This is just what I'm using today. You guys use whatever you have. This is a great thing to do when you're not feeling well, laying in bed, sitting on the couch. Okay, so we have her little face on. And it's not as dark as I really wanted it, but maybe I can take my marker and kind of, because my paint wasn't all the way dry. Oh, no, not really. It was crappy. It's a thicker marker, so it's going to kind of spread. But at least you guys will be able to see it. And that's my goal, is so you guys can see it more than it looking good for me in my journal. I just want you guys to do it and learn and love. Now, what I want to do on these pink things, which I love to do, is I love to, like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to outline these wings. I'm going to use this marker since I have it. Okay, I'm going to outline everything, actually. But right now, I'm going to outline these wings. And outline the middle part. And then maybe do some, now you can stamp inside these wings. You can doodle. How fun would that be to sit here and doodle inside these wings? Like make like really cool doodles. But that's all I'm going to do there. And then I'm going to like go in and I'm going to separate these colors with black marker, or you could use white paint or whatever you want. This will just separate it for me. Again, yours will be much neater. But you see how it makes it stand out more? And then I'll do this side, the same thing. And you can outline in any color you want. It doesn't have to be black. It's just what I have here. And I'm going to separate these. And you can go in and put white dots in these different colors of the purple and green. Different, you know, you could just take your paint and the back of your paintbrush and dip it in and do different color dots all through, like a confetti kind of thing. If you have stickers, stamps, whatever you want, just decorate it the way you want. All right, and then I'll do the same thing over here. I'll trace inside. If you wait till your paint's dry before you trace, that helps. You'll get a much sharper, better. I'm just trying to get done here for you guys, so. Then you do your little boopies, or your little doodles, or Zentangle, whatever you all call them. All right, now we'll trace her funky feet. The rest of her body. Her little toenails. Of course, you'll be doing much better than I. And then we'll do this. And this is when it becomes the fun starts, because now it's time for you to decorate how you would decorate it. Like, you can do like fun things in her little, you know, decorate different things. You know, do little like doodles. No, I don't want to waste your time doing that. Go in, trace your heart. Trace your little face. I like adding antenna things. It'd be nice if I was on camera. You know, she's got these antenna things. And then you can go in and, I don't think I have any markers around me. Maybe these will work. Then you can go in and paint her some, use a marker or paint and paint some, this isn't going to work real well on here, on this paint, but you'll get the idea. Some purple lipstick or whatever color you want to paint or marker in. Color pencil in, crayon in, whatever. And then you can make her eyes blue. And we'll just color them in. And they're a bit dark, but that's okay. You guys can do whatever color you want. I'm just trying to finish her up a little bit here so y'all get it. You know, y'all do your thing. And then you can let her have, if you want, you can give her eyelashes. These pens don't write good on paint. They're permanent, but they're not giving me the loving that I want. So we shall put away now. Let's see what I got up here. Give her her pupil. And of course, if your eyes are lighter, you know, you'll be able to see it better. And what was I gonna? I was just gonna do something. I was also trying to thought. Oh, over here where we have our empty space, write a pretty quote or do, you know, you can do another doodle, do a bee. You know what I mean? A bee like that or something to that effect. Again, this is long. I know it's hard to do art journal pages. And like I said, I'm in a hurry, so everything does not look how I want it to look. I always do the little white in the eyes. And then I'll do a little white in the eyes over here to make them pop out. You know, nothing spectacular. Give her a little bit of lightness on there. And like I said, you can just go, you know, crazy. You can do a quote or this is enough. I mean, it's whatever you want to do. You want to add more, you know, you want to add stars, stamps, stencils, whatever you want to do. It doesn't, like I said, it's totally up to you. I just love giving you the basics. And then you guys go from there. So this is a very fast, very fast acrylic painted butterfly girl with very dark eyes that her eyes should have done them a lighter color. But don't know if I had a little green in there. Oh my god, the obsessions. The obsessions I have. I wonder if I could add yellow, if that would green it up a little bit. Or she'll look creepier. Anyway, you get the idea. That ain't going to be doing what I want it to do. So, there you go. That's the basic. Very quickly. And I did a little tree over here. This is the original that I did in colored pencil. You know, like I said, I would add her some, I don't have anything here, but I would add a little bit of, let me see if I can just put a little bit on my finger here. And just rub it like little cheeks, like so they're, you know, little cheek. A little water to it. And you can give her nice little cheeks. Red cheeks, which I like on this, but You use way too much water. But you get the drift. Come on, why don't you go on there now? Yeah, it's better. Then when it dries, it'll look better. You know, just cool things. Or give her red demon eyes. I don't know. But so that's what we did today, and I hope you guys do it and tag me and enjoy it as much as I did. Like I said, I would love to add glitter, and I would have loved to spend more time. It takes me a lot longer. You know, I'm trying to keep it at a decent time for you guys. It's very hard, but I hope that you guys like it, and I hope that you guys will do it. And it's our third one in our journal series, and you know, each time we're just getting a little bit more into the drawing and adding more things and stuff like that. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And I'll see you in the next video. We're due for a giveaway, so I'm thinking about that. We have a giveaway coming up because I'm over 1,300 people, and so I gotta see what we're going to do for a giveaway. So please give me a thumbs up if you like this video and you like doing the art journal ones. And if you found me by accident, you can check me out in the about section, the description below this video, to sub to my page, to my YouTube. And I hope that y'all have a great weekend. Bye, guys.